Hello everyone, and welcome to my first encounter guide for Garden of Salvation. I was initially going to do one massive video for Garden, but in the end I decided to split it up into smaller parts for you guys. Now without further delay, let's get into the first encounter of Garden of Salvation. The first thing you'll want to do when you enter this raid is get familiar with how the raid's main new mechanic works, Tethering. You will find these cubes throughout the raid, and when you activate them by shooting them or punching them, it will connect a beam of light to the nearest guardian in range. Punching or shooting them again will turn it off. While you are tethered, you cannot shoot or use any of your abilities, so you are very vulnerable and also cannot turn off the tether by yourself. Tethers will disconnect, however, if you break line of sight or walk too far away. The range of a tether can be determined by its color. When it turns red, that means you are at the very limit of the tether's range. If you are tethered and other guardians come near you, the beam will connect them into the same tether, which is how you extend its range. But keep in mind that they will also not be able to fight until they are no longer tethered. With that out of the way, let's get into the encounter itself. There are no specific weapons you'll need for this encounter, although having a sniper like Izanagi is not a bad idea. There are some overload champions to deal with, but a high impact super like Nova Bomb will also do the job if you do not wish to run disruption. Split yourself into 2 teams of 3, with one team staying in the first room to prevent the boss from causing a team wipe, and the others preparing to run further into the encounter to progress it. To start the encounter, you'll need to tether the box to the emblem on the force field. Once the encounter begins, adds will start spawning in the room and the harpy will begin to move. The first team must kill these adds and watch the boss when it starts to move to the sides of the arena. After it moves, it will drop something known as a voltaic overflow on the ground, and if these are not picked up fast enough, they will detonate and result in a team wipe. One person from the first team must follow the boss and run through the voltaic overflow to pick it up. This will give the person a 2.5 minute debuff, during which they cannot pick up another overflow again. If they do pick up a second one, it will prevent the wipe mechanic, but it will also kill the guardian instantly. Only do this if you have no other choice left, but when possible make sure that a different guardian is picking up the debuff each time. If you do end up having to sacrifice onto the debuff itself will be removed, and once res, that guardian can pick up again straight away. As long as the running team doesn't take too long, Team 1's job should be finished before sacrificing is needed. Speaking of Team 2, their role is to move forward into the next area and clear out all the enemies they can find. There will be a variety of effects to clear out, including an overload minotaur, a cyclops, and when everything else is dead, a hydra known as an angelic will spawn. There are 2 important things to note about the enemies in here. First, when the team progressing kills the cyclops in their area, it will cause 2 cyclops to spawn in the previous room where the boss is. These cyclops should be dealt with immediately, as their blast can kill even high light guardians. Secondly, the hydras known as angelics will be a recurring enemy throughout this raid. When they are nearby, they will create a force field around tether boxes, preventing you from using them until the angelics are destroyed. Once all the adds in the angelic are defeated, you will need to locate a tether box near the next force field door that is blocking the way forward. These boxes can spawn in a few different locations, so you may need to look around to find it. After the angelic is defeated, it does make a noise as the force field around the tether box disappears, so try listen out for that if you think you'll have trouble finding it. The team will tether the box to the door to open it, but this is where a switching of roles will occur. As soon as the door is open, the harpy boss will disappear from the first room and appear by the newly opened force field door. The team that cleared the room will now take over the role of picking up the debuffs to prevent a wipe, while the other team will catch up and run further to start clearing out the next room. This swap of roles is needed because the first team's debuffs won't have run out yet and they cannot pick up again for a while to come. Essentially, we are playing a game of leapfrog with the roles reversing after each cleared room. The next room has the same basic as the last one. Clear the adds including an overload champion and a cyclops, and remember this will cause more cyclops to spawn in the previous room once killed. And once everything is dead, kill the angelic that spawns. Tether to open the door again and the roles reverse. This next room is a little different. At the end of the room there will be another force field, but this will have 3 locks instead of 1, and there are 3 tether boxes around as well. Kill the angelic like normal, and head over to this tether box by the cliff. They will always unlock in the same order, so this one will always be first. Once you have opened this first lock, the harpy boss will move behind the next force field, and wait there until you finish opening the other 2 locks. Keep unlocking the other 2 locks while your team catches up, and prepare for the final part of the encounter. After you open the final lock, the harpy will disappear again and you can move forward. This next area is a giant field of Cyclops and Overload champions that you must get through while also picking up 3 voltaic overflows that the boss will deposit along the way. This is where a sniper may come in handy to take out the Cyclops while others quickly run forward to collect the debuffs. The boss will place them regardless of how long you take, so make sure to always have people running forward. Be careful of the platforms it spawns on though, as it spawning in will kill you if you are too close. This also applies to the previous rooms when the boss moves. Make it to the end after picking up all the debuffs and the boss will appear one more time before vanishing and ending the encounter. Your loot will appear next to where you last saw the boss. Congratulations! You have made it through the first encounter of Garden of Salvation. Before I finish this video though, let me quickly show you where you can find the secret chest after this encounter. Continue forward and jump down the hole to enter the main jumping puzzle section of this raid. Head to your left until you find a small elevator moving up and down. The entrance to the secret chest area is right behind this elevator. You do not need to jump on the elevator to make it into the gap, but if you are not great at jumping puzzles, it does make it a lot easier. And that is it for the first encounter and the first secret chest. I hope it will be helpful to some people, and if you have any questions, feel free to leave them down below. Thanks for watching, and I will see you all in the next video.